Hello guys, it's me again. So today we're going to be reading, of course, The Secret Diary of Boylen. Sorry I haven't been making as much videos, it's because there's a lot going on. But we're going to continue reading today. And we're going to be on page 19. Like with the, after the little asterisks, or I don't really know what it's called, but yeah. Okay. My lords, the queen exploded into her privy chamber with the force of a catapulted arrow, screwing each of her counselors with a piercing stare. None of them, save William Cecil, who had dealt with Elizabeth for several years before her accession to the throne, could yet make sense of this formidable and beguiling monarch. "The news from the continent is good, Your Majesty," spoke Cecile, opening their morning council. "The French have come to an agreement with us on Calais." "Excellent. Then they are returning our port city, the one my illustrious sister Mary lost, that which has always been ours to us," demanded Elizabeth. "Not precisely, madam." "Well then, how precisely do they propose to handle this?" "They will hold Calais for at least 8 further years," explained her principal defense advisor, Lord Clinton. 8, mused the Queen. "A lovely round number, turned on its side, infinity. Mayhap this is how long they propose to keep Calais. At the end of 8 years, if they do choose to keep the city, they will pay 500,000 crowns to us." "A goodly sum," said Elizabeth, "though it is now that we need the money in our pitiful treasury." "Majesty, chance exists that Calais may be returned to us in the future," added Lord North. "More important," interjected Lord Clinton, "the threat of invasion from the French through Scotland is no more, and for now your young Scottish cousin, Queen Mary, does not press her claim to your throne, and that is excellent news." "Indeed it is," said Elizabeth, with a tight smile. "A realm gains more in 1 year's peace than by 10 years of war. So says my Lord Cecil." The councillors relaxed and smiled amongst themselves. "So we have peace," said the Queen, "but in the meanwhile we have, by your counsel, unnecessarily bankrupted our treasury in preparation for war." "Not so, Your Majesty," retorted her uncle Lord Howard, the greatest soldier among her advisers. "The fortification of the northern border, castles, and the munitions from Flanders were worthy expenditures nevertheless. We will be prepared for unforeseen future hostilities. My bad. Sorry, guys. "Si vis pacem pura helium," interjected Lord North. "If you wish peace, prepare for war," echoed Elizabeth. "Precisely, Your Majesty." She turned back to Lord Howard. "However, it still seems to me that my uncle does not trust his own treaty. I have little trust that such zealous Catholics as Mary of Scots and her French mother-in-law will scarce abandon for long all ideas of overpowering Protestant England and overthrowing its heretic queen. But for now, the treaty pleases me, as I hope it pleases you, Majesty." Elizabeth scanned the faces of her privy councillors and sensed that they were in sore need of approbation. She was hard on them, she knew, volatile, unpredictable, exasperating. She reveled in chaos, and it amused her to use their foibles and weaknesses to lay little traps for them, playing them once against the other. "Yes, I am pleased, my lords," she said, and graced them with one of her warmest smiles. "Even if only for the present we are spared the ruinous cost of war. We should all be grateful." She turned to Cecile. This was the one man she trusted completely. He was honest where she was devious. He was clear and dispassionate, while she flew into fits of pique and created hugely dramatic episodes simply to enliven an afternoon. You will furnish me with the details of those negotiations and our private council, William. As your majesty wishes, intoned Cecile, and inclined his head in a bow. He never ceased to be amazed by the woman who was suddenly the queen, the frail, incandescently pale girl who had overnight assumed a frighteningly assured command over her men. In such moments, Cecile knew unequivocally that the old rumors, the ones surrounding her mother and Boylen's trial for treason and adultery, the ones claiming Elizabeth had never been sired by Henry at all, were completely ridiculous. Even a fool could see her father in the girl. Not just the fine russet gold hair, the aquiline nose, the sunburned smile, but the inborn impressiousness, perfect authority, and pure animal magnetism. Too, he thought ironically, Elizabeth, like her father, possessed that rare quality that inspired men and women to cleave to her wish, to cleave her with passionate love and unshakable devotion, despite her inexperience and sometimes callous insults. Elizabeth, who had been pacing incessantly as much from an overabundance of nervous energy as to warm her body in the morning's chamber chill, now sought the high-backed chair with its crimson cushions and drummed her fingers on the carved wooden claw arms. Shall we move on? The time has come, madam, to take the acts of supremacy and uniformity before Parliament and write them into law. Like your father, you shall be named Supreme Head of the Church of England, announced the Lord Treasurer, the Marquis of Windsor, a sweet-faced old man whose head seemed balanced precariously in the folds of his starched ruff. I prefer Governor, Supreme Governor, said Elizabeth. And my late brother Edward's prayer book, will it be reinstated? Immediately, your majesty, replied Cecile, and services shall henceforth be conducted in English. Good God be praised, said the queen. We propose also that attendance at Mass should be a crime punished by imprisonment, Cecile went on, repeated thrice, punishably for life imprisonment. Is this not inordinately harsh, my lords, and far too similar to Roman persecution? On the continent, a new Dominican inquisitor has been named, and Jews are again forced to wear yellow squares on their backs. I do not want it said that our reformation tends towards cruelty. 'Tis far less harsh than your sister's burning of Protestant heretics during her reign, answered Lord Clinton. Elizabeth noticed Lord Arundel, the only remaining Catholic in her privy council, wince at the reference to Mary's outrageous and deadly persecution of adherents to the new faith. Many good men, women, even children, had died horribly in the flames. Among them her mother's good friend, Archbishop Cranmer. I've been witness to my brother's Protestant fanatism, which was as repugnant as my sister's Catholicism. The realm is in need of healing and unity, and a middle road in the matter of religion would endanger both. And whilst I have no patience with saints, indulgences, and miracles, we shall seek out forward conformity, without forgetting that each man's belief is a matter most personal. I have no wish to open windows in men's souls. Your Majesty, there is something else we must need discussed. Cecile began as gingerly as a man entering a room full of angry boors. Elizabeth, knowing full well the subject of his digression, covered her smile with a fist pierced to her lips. And what could that be, my Lord Cecile? Your marriage, Majesty. It is of the utmost importance. A foreign alliance. Do not speak to me of a foreign alliance. Elizabeth leapt from her chair into a swirl of rustling brocade and wafts of heady perfume which left her counselors dizzy. When I took the throne, I was hailed as a queen of no mingled blood of Spaniard or a stranger, but born mere English and therefore most natural. What you want from me is a child of my body, is it not? An heir. Well, do you not believe my subjects wish for a true English prince? But your Majesty, I should be better off marrying you, she told to face her Lord Steward. Indeed, the Earl of Arundel wishes me to believe he is the best match in all of England. She turned again and came eye to eye with the old Marquis of Windsor, who had served under both her father and her brother. He was bent and frail, but when the Queen ran her ivory fingers over his grey beard, he smiled like a young boy in love. If my Lord Treasurer were a younger man, I could find it in my heart to have him as my husband. Forgive me, madam, but you jest upon a most serious subject, said her chief counselor. If I did not know you better, Lord Cecile, I would think you subscribed to the common belief that beauty is nature's gift to woman in compensation for her deprivation of brains. Your Majesty, he begged, or to the writings of that pompous idiot John Knox, who holds that for a woman to rule over men is as reasonable as the blind leading the sighted. Elizabeth was no longer smiling, and an angry flush had spread across her pale cheeks. I have told you, and I will tell you once again, I will act in the matter as God directs me. Besides, she said, regaining her composure as handily as she regained control of an unruly gelding, I am already married. Her counselors froze. Hardly a whispered breath could be heard from the lot of them. Had the worst happened? Had the Queen secretly married Dudley? Elizabeth raised her right hand, brandishing the heavy gold and ruby coronation ring at her counselors. My husband is the kingdom of England. Good day, my lords. So that's where we end for today. That's actually pretty good because she's like telling all the men, like, I'm the wife of England. I don't have to marry a man to be in charge. So good for her. Anyways, bye guys. Hopefully read again soon.